Award-winning broadcast journalist Ed Marshall asks the tough questions you want answered. Informative, soul-stirring, one-on-one interviews about matters that affect our lives in this region we call home. Here now with Conversations is Ed Marshall.
Well, thanks for keeping us company for National Black History Month. You know, New Orleans is globally known for celebrating everything from its food, jazz music, championship sports to Mardi Gras. We didn't want to let this February, known as Black History Month, go by without paying homage to one of many unsung residents that looks for no recognition at all as he goes about his daily business improving the community, affecting lives of those among us who have fallen on hard times and have, for instance, just having a hard time. And also, we're going to talk about diversity, even in the shadow of political controversy. Please help me welcome to the set Bishop James Nelson Brown. Thank you for being with us.
Glad to be here, Ed. Thank you so much.
It is a pleasure. And I have to always give my personal disclaimer. I have the privilege of getting to know you, Bishop, over the last 30 years as my, on a personal basis, because you are, in fact, my pastor at Fisher Community Church in Algiers. So we certainly thank you for being here today. Bishop, tell us about, you know, you've been busy on the West Bank for a long time. Just give us a little background on who you are and why the West Bank is so special to you.
Well, it's special to me because I'm born and raised on the West Bank. I'm from Gretna. Lived there almost all my life. My parents are from Gretna, and we just have a long history. Educated in the Jefferson Parish schools, and after college came right back to the West Bank. So it is really my interest. Had many opportunities to go other places, but I feel like I am called to be here on the West Bank.
Well, we appreciate that. Yeah. And of course, I have to mention that recently, you and your lovely wife celebrated 50 years of wedding bliss. And I don't know if we have the video or pictures of that, but we certainly wanted to include that in our story. She's also from
Gretna.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful thing. There are the pictures there, and it was a really special occasion. You know, y'all's special friend came over from Franklin Avenue and performed the service. So it was really nice.
It was a joy for us. Not many make 50 years. I have a brother older than me. His wife died just a year before. They would have made their 50 right before us. Okay. So we the first in the 5 of us siblings to make 50 years.
Oh, congratulations. I was glad to be a part of him seeing that. We had a really good time. You know, Fisher Community Church has become an intricate part of the Fisher community, but before we talk about that, we certainly have to look back at the past, and it's significant to look at the Fisher community's past because it was built back in 1964 on about 48 acres, and the Fisher housing development grew to like 102 housing units. That's a whole lot of people stacked together. And with those units brought a lot of crime and, of course, loss of lives. The development was demolished in the early 2000s. And a coalition determined to have decent, affordable housing fought political roadblocks, and as a result, they now have a brand new area that we can look at. The picturesque area now, after they demolished those big buildings, as you see today, are realized. They are well maintained in the neighborhood and are now a real treat to basically drive through Fisher, because for a long time people wanted to avoid it, to even go around it to get into Algiers. But that's all behind us now. And one of the oldest original residents of Fisher, Ms. Constance Haynes. I had an opportunity to meet her, and she's part of the Change Coalition, and she said it is truly now a true mixed income community with residents that receive not only subsidies for public housing, but also home tax credit, market rates, and personal homes, people are buying in that area. Constance is now the director of the Fisher Community Center, and a bell ringer for Bishop Brown. She says he's brought a lot to the area, so I wanted to mention that. And Bishop, tell us about how the church and the center work with each other.
It has been my joy. After Hurricane Katrina, we were serving many of the residents that remained from the hurricane. And we would go there and bring food and water almost every day to the resident that remained. And we developed real good relationships with the people that were there. And there was a church, the old St. Stephen's Baptist Church, that was just vacant for years that was there. And I would come there every morning and just sit in front of the church and just pray, ask the Lord, what do you want me to do? We had met some nice friends there. What he wanted me to do? I'd been serving in the Lower Coast Algiers for 24 years and 6 months. So should I stay or should I go? And finally he answered. We got that building and remodeled that building. And
it's beautiful now.
It has become, you know, one of the hubs for people that are in need in that community. Just what we thought it could be, it has become.
And not only that, when you were praying about moving to that area, you also got an opportunity to talk with two of our past presidents of the United States about what the needs were for Fisher. So tell us about that.
That was, again, another highlight of my life. After Katrina, right after Katrina, we had all kinds of people coming in from all over the world. And they wanted to look at the devastation, see what was done. And I had the privilege to meet the late George Bush, the older Bush, and Bill Clinton. Had a chance to chat with them, sit with them, to show them L.B. Landry School. And we toured the school and looked at the devastation that had been done. And there was talk about remodeling, but Landry was an old school. So I had an opportunity to sit with them, share with them, and we made an agreement that we would work together not only to build a new L.B. Landry, but we would work together to do what we can for the Fisher housing development. So that, again, was one of my great milestones, I think, in that area.
Yeah. And you know what I like about it, you know, people know when people are real and when they really are really interested in your needs. And we talk to people in that neighborhood, and from the old to the young, you've established relationships, and that's sometimes hard to do. So tell us what's your secret about that?
Well, we came in there feeding. We've been there 15 years. January 1st made 15 years we've been there. But from day one, we came in. The church was packed January 1st, 2008. It was packed. And we've been blessed ever since. And I said to the congregation, we owe to this community. And as a result of believing that we do owe, then we developed a motto, the least, the last, the lost. And from that, we began to serve the elderly, the senior village over there. And we've been doing meals, you know, Mondays and Tuesdays, and breakfasts on Sundays. So we have been and still is active in that community and helping them with that. Christmas, food and presents, Thanksgiving, turkeys, dinner, and presents. So we've been doing that almost from the very beginning. Yeah. So it means the world to us.
And sometimes people think that this stuff is just automatic, and it's not. It's not for many people. A lot of people truly don't have the resources when they finish paying utilities and different things. They don't have that left. You know, so you all been able to fill a gap there.
And the loneliness, I mean, not only that, I mean, you got a lot of those people that families are not there, no longer together. So when we go over there, I mean, the relationship that we have, we bought that bus specifically to get them backwards and forward to church or anything else that they might need to do. We have the bus there to help them get to their place.
And I got to tell you, I wish I had a picture of it. It's a really cool bus. It's a little bus, and it's got kind of New Orleans flavor coloring and different things on it, and Bishop and his wife actually get on the bus too with the folks. So it's not like it's for the people. He gets on the bus because he wants to be with the folks. That means a lot. And of course, I have to mention too, you've done similar work in Marrero at Second Zion, and of course with my frat brother and your good friend Byron Lee. You know, you've been able to help with that area.
We've been at Second Zion 30 years. We just marked 30 years, November the 4th. Wow. We bought an old school, the Percy Julian Elementary School, and we've been working in that community, outreach, feed the hungry, the first Jefferson Parish Cops and Clergy, all of those things that we did and do in that community has been outstanding. People can come there and get a meal, a hot meal, or they can get a box of food to take with them. So it has been just wonderful there serving the people. And Byron Lee has been a very intricate part in making those things happen in the Marrero community.
Right. He's quite a guy. I talk to him all the time, and he can't say enough about you. And Darlene Costanza with Crime Stoppers, she applauds you. By the way, she sent a picture of you when you gave the prayer for the prayer breakfast. I mean, for the awards a few years back, and so I got to get that to you. We're going to take a quick break, though. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Bishop James Nelson Brown and about him being an unsung hero. But no longer. I want you to know more about it, so stay right here.
I immigrated to America when I was 20 from a country called Uruguay. I have two careers. I'm in the Army Reserves, and I have a civilian career as an engineer. And I have two wonderful children. Every day is a challenge to make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to be there. You have to be present for them. You have to try to teach them. When they learn something new and it just clicks in their brain, I just realized I could do this. And you can just see in their faces. It's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
Thanks for buying a fishing license.
What the?
I know, but listen. I want you to picture all of the great things this simple purchase does. Like building public boat ramps, keeping local waters clean so families can fish and swim, and maintaining a healthy fish population.
What's Mom doing?
It also provides fishing education and activities for the kids, and funds long-term plans to protect our lakes and streams.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Did he?
When you buy a fishing license, you do a lot. Because every dollar from a license purchase protects and maintains your local waterways for future generations to enjoy. Learn more at takemefishing.org/Louisiana.
I am so glad you ladies are here. You each have your own rooms.
Thank you.
Get settled in. I'll call you for dinner. Adopting teen sisters, it's a lot. Girls, you're gonna be late. You want breakfast?
No thanks, we're good.
They're always in their own world.
What'd you get there?
Twice the work. Twice the surprises.
Just try it.
But if you think of it that way, they're also twice as fulfilling.
I think you should ask her yourself.
Is it okay to call you Mom?
Of course you can.
we are back of conversations with Bishop James Nelson Brown. Pastor Brown, you know, all over the country we look with, there's so many people who are homeless. I was coming up the ramp, had flown out of town and was coming up the ramp to come back to the West Bank, and now the tents and different things that were like right down near O.C. Haley, it's completely stretched down to actually under the part where you go up on the bridge. It broke my heart. You know, it broke my heart, and I know, you know, we do feeding and different things like that, but it's been wonderful, and I got to announce this because this is so significant, especially during Black History Month. Bishop Brown received the Martin Luther King Award for homelessness in terms of eradicating homelessness, and has a great announcement. He's got all of the political people. Republicans, Democrats, you know, when you do the right thing and people know you want to do the right thing, they fall in line. But I want you to tell us about this new homeless shelter that's going to be coming along.
Jubilee Homeless Shelter was born about 2 years ago. It actually came to fruition June last year, and we had a great celebration, ribbon cutting and everything, and our political leaders, judges were there because of some of the things that they were seeing. Guys coming out of prison needed a place, but more importantly, we're seeing over on the West Bank a new kind of homeless people coming out. The working homeless now. We're seeing people that are working that are homeless now. Right. So we came up with this. We took one of the old Jefferson Parish, used to be the room that they held their evidence in, and we took that building first, and we turned it into a 17-bed homeless shelter. And from there, I mean, they seen the grounds that we had there, and now we're working on a 100-bed homeless shelter for mixed and for family. Gotcha. So we're looking forward to that. The parish leaders and those other organizations that believe in what we're doing, and the churches, I mean, that spearheaded. Right. I mean, Second Zion, River of Life, and Fisher Community Church have been drum makers in helping us to support what we're doing, feeding every day, having them housed and taking care of them, bringing them to their different appointments, making sure that they get the kind of treatment that they need, because there are many mental illness that are out there that making the homeless numbers what they are.
You led it right into what I was thinking about, because you know, people envision, well, these people just, you know, sucking up stuff from a shelter, and they're not. You all are going in there with the whole discipline of these people need medications, they need therapists, they need people, they need the blood pressure to come down. You know, I've seen so many people who are, you know, were just basic people like you and I, and just something happened, you know, or they lost their jobs. And people say there are lots of jobs out here, but for people who are suffering from different types of disorders, it's very difficult to get a job. And very difficult, particularly as we go back and talk about people who have been in the jail system. Yeah. And you have a big jail ministry.
Talk to us about that. That has been one of the things that have 40 years now, with going back into the prison. One of my oldest guys, Calvin Manuel, will be 82 on February the 12th. To look at him, he's been with me over 30 years, coming from Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola, and to work with him, to get him a house, home ownership now, and to look at the thing that has happened to him. But from Angola, I mean, we go to Angola, that's our baby. We go to Angola at least 5 times a year, and we bring a bus to all of the prisons. We got 5 different prisons. We bring the family members, the loved ones, there free of charge. We have a contract with a 55 unit bus. Every month, we go once a month. during Christmas time and Mother's Day, we go to the women's prison, so we go take 2 buses.
Wow.
But we have a great outreach to the prison, so we know them before they come out.
Right.
We have a 2-year program that we work with them while they're in prison. So when they come out, they all want to come home with us.
Yeah.
So we got apartments, we got houses, and now we got the shelter to help them.
And the gentleman you spoke about earlier, he's just a super guy. You know, you can trust him with anything you want, because he went through the whole recidivism, and he didn't get lost in the shuffle when he got out, and that's very key, because some people just totally get lost in the system, and you all are doing a good job by helping with that, and you're finding that a lot more families are now homeless, right?
Yeah, we're seeing something that, most people don't even realize, that people, real husbands and wives and children that are now becoming homeless because of rent and the cost of rent and housing now. Can't find housing. Right now we are really in a crisis.
We are.
And in Marrero, they're tearing down the Marrero Acres housing development. So where are all those people going to go?
Yeah.
And when you look at the things that are going on, you have to say now where these people are going to be placed.
Right.
Who's going to help them?
Right.
So that's
so
a big
many
problem.
areas now, with gentrification, houses are being picked up and they can't afford it.
Yeah.
They literally can't afford it. A lot of people who have actually been in those neighborhoods can't afford the taxes anymore. Yeah. So we've got a real situation, but I'm glad to hear that the politicians there are really helping with that kind of thing. And I spoke about diversity earlier. I remember vividly when I moved down here, and they said, "Oh, you're moving over in Jefferson Parish with Sheriff Harry Lee. He doesn't take too much to black people." I never found that to be a problem for me, and I must say, you crossed that line of diversity very well and walk it very well, and you became one of the true prayer partners with him before he passed. Tell us how that all came to be.
I was blessed with Harry Lee. Harry Lee loved children and elderly people. Those were the programs that we gave much interest in. He supported our elderly ministry. The bus trips all over, the children, any kind of program we did. He wanted to see those things. He came in, he embraced me. I tell you, I spoke at his funeral.
Yeah.
I was a part of his funeral. He passed me on to New Norman, and it continued. But we were just there when he got sick. But before he got sick, we went to Boston and New York together. A group of us blacks, along with some of the whites, the news media, we all went to New York. We went to John Jay University, and we were there, trip paid in full. He wanted us to know how to deal with the problem that Jefferson Parish was facing. So it was just for me to see what was going on in Jefferson Parish, and from Harry Lee,
right.
from all of the talk and I'm born and raised in Gretna in Jefferson Parish.
Right.
So all the talk they said about Harry Lee, I got to know the man personally. Right. His wife, to go on shopping trip, his wife and my wife go shopping together,
And I tell people sometimes, people can often be misguided by one thing that someone says or does, and it totally, it just festers and runs through before the truth, and that's unfortunate, because he would call me and personally invite me to these golf tournaments, and we'd have a good time out there, and it's just. One of those things. So hopefully people can learn from other people. I tell people, people are frightened of other people, and that's unfortunate because they have never dealt with other people.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly when our council lady, Jackie Clarkson, she was phenomenal, and she would be at Fisher not just when it was time for election. She would be at Fisher. I wanted to say, I guess she got her letter and moved over here to be a member.
40 years, Jackie Clarkson was there with me, in and out her house, by my house. Her and my wife go and do things. What it was, the relationship that Jackie Clarkson and I have. And even today, we were there last year at the Algiers new celebration there with Oscar Rainey. Right. She was there. I mean, just to be there with her, she wanted me by her. Yeah. So I mean, it's just been, you know, for me, you talk about diverse. Right. It had her husband Bud and her children and stuff. The different things that we've done as family.
And of course the Rainies, you know, they were just the kind of people just miss them a lot, you know. Pastor, I could go on and with you, and I thank you for coming. You're gonna have to come back. We're gonna continue to follow the progress of what's going on in Jefferson Parish. So you come back and see us again, please.
You. I really appreciate it. Thank you for this time.
Congratulations. But before we go, we definitely want to leave with some information. We had to say goodbye to a wonderful lady, a community civic activist, Barbara Layson Keller, who recently passed away. She left the powers that be, and she let them know that when she walked in a room, she was there. And her passion for change to make the community better, that's what she was always about. So we say farewell, Barbara, and sleep well. That's going to do it for Conversations for this month. Until next time, take care of yourself, do something good for somebody else, and to remember, always stay in peace, not pieces. Until next month, I'm Ed Marshall, and we'll see you.